My name is Will Kumwenda. I grew up in the streets of Johannesburg and I'm currently at the University of Cape Town studying political science and law. I'm the sole founder of Embrace Your African, and one of my major passions is promoting African culture, and I do it through fashion. So it's actually quite a funny story. Like at the end of matric, I knew and I was kind of fixated on going to UCT. But because of the previous year's protest and stuff, we started a bit late. So it was like in March 21st, if I'm not mistaken. And like I had a lot of time. That's like 3 months of just lumming. So I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna just chill this whole time. I decided to learn how to sew. So I went to my mom's tailor. He taught me how to sew. I'm like, oh, I'm decent at this. Why don't I try sell to people? I think what I make is cool. So let me try sell it. And after that, that's how it started off. Yeah. So basically what my brand does is trying to promote African culture just using fashion, and the way in which I do so is I have an Afrocentric brand that uses westernized or more worldly accepted fashion trends. Then I just add a little bit of an African touch. So like with dungarees coming into fashion, with bomber jackets being in fashion, I just put an African print to it, and hopefully that sells. I think the biggest question, or the biggest message rather, is that you shouldn't be afraid to embrace your African, in the sense that you shouldn't be afraid to wear Afrocentric clothing to work, to school, because essentially that's what we are Africans. It shouldn't be a privilege like on Heritage Day or a wedding. That's the only time you're gonna put on some little bit of an African print. I think it should be a daily thing, in the same way that Europeans and Americans wear suits. We have African suits as well. I really think that us promoting our culture, us accepting our culture, and also us being proud of our culture is a really important thing. I know you. Never act like you don't see me. So I think the biggest person I've actually worked with is my mentor, Adolf Chims. So he produces for Blue Chick SA, and she sells to people like Amanda Dupont, Ponang, and like sometimes the stuff that they wear and the stuff that they show on their Instagram pages or on their Tumblrs or whatnot and social media platforms, he made. He's the biggest person I've worked with. He's also worked with Edgar's. He's retailed from very, very big companies. Another nice person that I've worked with is one of my best friends, Londina Makaza. She's working with Mr. Price RN, so she's on the climb. She's pretty big, and I've been in talks with Talking Drum TV. I think it's a Nigerian TV channel. Maybe it's the MTV in Nigeria. I don't know. They look pretty big when I like search them up and stuff. And they wanted me to feature in the first magazine. I'm like, okay, fly me out to Lagos. Let's go. And someone else been in talks with YDE, and the thing about YDE is that what they wanted from me, realistically speaking, now it would be too time consuming. So those are some of the big people I've worked with. Yeah. So I have an Instagram page, I have a Twitter page as well. I had a Tumblr page, but that went off. And as much as I like to say this, I really try to push myself through social media and stuff, but I know that I'm really inconsistent. But I know the stuff, like the content that I put across is quality. So yeah, like in terms of myself as a brand, as William Kumwenda, I don't do enough there, and I'm really trying to do more. It's just that I was brought up as a very humble and reserved guy, so it's very hard to like post every week. And in terms of my brand, yeah, I think we post regularly enough. We just have to have more shoots and promote more. And hopefully one day I could be like a social media influencer and a brand ambassador. But yeah, that's where we're going. Wow, that's a difficult question to answer, but right now I'm focusing mainly on school, trying to get good grades. And in terms of what I'm doing now, I'm basically chilling. I'm basically putting a little bit of my foot on the brake. But in terms of where to see myself in the future, it could take off after school. it could take off during school. I'm just more going with the flow, so I'm not really sure. But hey, it's in God's hands, man. So you can just place your order, and after that, it should be. The turnover time is normally a week and a half. Yeah, but we also require a deposit. Just call me when you're ready. Yeah. Okay. Yo, this is your boy Will Commander, the founder of Embrace Your African, a creative director, musician, designer, and photographer. Hit me up on Instagram at _WillXM. Hit me up on Embrace Your African. Hit me up on Twitter at Will_XM, and hit me up everywhere you can find me. Yo. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying.